Hey guys, so I made it Monday. So let me explain how this is gonna work as I fit my tips. So what I'm gonna do is this Monday, I will post a picture of a practice set that we're all gonna work on this week. And then I'm gonna give you my tips for that set. And I'm going to work on it myself and show you a couple things that worked for me. And then we are going to relocate to the group chat, which will be on Instagram. I will be posting the link for everyone. So you guys can join after the video, after you guys watch the video. There will be a short tutorial in the group chat for everybody. And then everybody can ask questions, give tips, you know, what worked for them. If you're having any problems, take it there. And there will be some more experienced people, some more experienced viewers that will be in there to help. If there aren't any people there at that time, we will get to it as soon as we see the questions, right? So at the end of the week on Friday, I want you all to post your pictures of your results in the group chat. The following Monday, I will show your results and give any tips or tricks that worked for you guys to whoever may be watching. And then I will show the next week's practice set, demonstrate, so on and so forth. So that's how we're gonna be doing this. I think that's gonna work, and that will be dedicated on Mondays. That's what we're gonna do every Monday now. I think it's gonna be helpful because we all have little tips and tricks about what works for us. And then everybody has different knowledge. So I think once all of that is contributed, once we all can contribute our little bits, I think it's gonna give us all a more well-rounded arsenal. You know what I mean? So this week we are going to be doing a shaping set specifically for shaping. And it looks a little crazy because no, this is just to practice shaping. Kiara Sky showed this to me. It was on their Instagram and I thought, that's perfect because it covers them all, right? So here is the practice set. I know. You're not meant to wear it though, so it's okay. I'm gonna do a couple of these real quick. Now with shaping, you want most of your work to be done before the acrylic ever touches, okay? I like using these super long stiletto tips for like everything because I found it's easy to make most of my shapes except for square out of them. And I can do short square with them. It's just easier for me. So I'm gonna show you what I do for, shaping the different shapes. So you wanna make sure that when you are fitting your tips, you aren't having a lot of overhang, which I don't really have a choice here, so ignore what I'm doing. If you don't have a choice and your tips are a little too wide, just clip the edges. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So if they're a little too wide, what you want to do is take your straight edge clippers and clip it straight across like that. Because you aren't going to be able to do that once it's on the finger. And if you have to push down to flatten it out, it's going to cause it to pop up afterwards. So you want to make sure that you're not having to push down too hard to get it to lay across the nail. Like I said, you want to do this before you put it on the hand. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So, let's see, it's kind of hard for you to see because of all the white, but you want to make sure that it's straight so that it lines up off of the nail bed the right way and comes straight out. And then I'm going to give you some tips on each individual shape, and then I will apply a little acrylic and show you in practice, right? Right. Okay. I probably should have used square to show you guys this, but these work for tapered square as well. The only thing they don't work for is if you want those really long, like square ones. And I learned some pretty cool tips to do like almond and whatever else. So I'm gonna cut this one so that we can do square on this. The tapered square, anyway. Or coffin or whatever you wanna call it. Looks the same to me. Now, when you're doing this on a person, you want to pull this skin back on the sides of the finger and basically use your finger like a stop so that the file's not actually touching them, it's touching you. Does that make sense? Okay, you want to start underneath. I like to use these 80/80 grit files because they just make shaping so much easier because they move the acrylic without having to push too hard, because when you push on it, it flexes and bends and you don't get your shape as sharp. So you want to use a lower grit for shaping and then the higher ones for smoothing and finishing. So I'm going to pull this back like so. The file is going to hit me and not them. That way you're lining it up with their nail bed and you get a nice clean shape without that kind of wobble right there at the end of the nail bed. Same thing on this side, you're using your thumb or thumbnail. Tapered square is pretty easy, you can kind of figure it out. What you want to do though, another thing that I've noticed that they don't really explain very well, not even in school, if you're trying to get that super sharp shape, when you're pushing with your file, a lot of this tip is rolling underneath, right? So you want to make sure that you're taking your file and pulling it back out. Now you see how much came out from under the nail on that? Now all of that there is going to contribute to your shape being off and not being as sharp. So you want to make sure that you're pulling it out with your file or going up and down on the side, you know, like that. You can also file underneath, but I find that just rolls it up more. So it kind of rolls everything underneath and then there we go. So you just want to run it under there a couple times and make sure you're getting all that out. All right, let's see, how does it look? Not quite. Use your finger as well. Line it up on your file to keep your file perfectly straight. You can use your thumb on the other side, whatever, you know, or turn your hand, up to you. And feel free to use your straight edge clippers if you're still not getting what you want. All right, so we have our tapered square. Now, I'm gonna straighten this out so I can show you stiletto because I wanna show you from a square shape, kind of. If you're doing stiletto, you wanna measure. I know that sounds silly, but you wanna come from the center of the nail bed, find the cuticle, and run it straight down and find where the center of that tip is. Then you're gonna use your straight edge clippers to kind of just cut that V shape out to save yourself some trouble. Like I said, you wanna do most of your work before acrylic ever touches it. It's gonna make things so much easier later. And you wanna make sure that you're clipping from the same point here to help keep it even. And don't go straight for the center at the very beginning. You know what I mean? You wanna kind of work your way there with the clippers, that way you're not overcutting. And then when you get it, you know, where you want it, then you can start filing. And that's about the center of, and it doesn't have to be a perfect stiletto shape with the clippers. You just want to get it around the stiletto shape. Like so. We're close, right? And then you can use your clippers to finish it off the rest of the way up the nail. And then you do your filing once you get the bulk of that tip off of there. And the straight edge clippers help a lot. The ones that don't curve, they help a ton. But you also want curved clippers, and I'm going to show you why here in a second. So same thing, but you don't want to do one side and then move to the other. You want it for stiletto, you want to go back and forth a little at a time. That way you're not over filing one side and you don't end up with a weird, you know, stiletto pointing the wrong way. And then you focus on the tip last, because that sharp tip will come after you finish this part. So remember, we're pulling that skin down, getting it all nice and even. And then once you have your sides, your sidewalls the way you want, then you can go and take that point. Go and make your point. Like so. And if you find that it's not sharp enough or it's off center, well, you've not overfiled it at this point, so you have some room to move around and adjust. Also remembering that you want to get underneath, same as before. See how much it pulls out of there? And that, I didn't even realize how badly that underneath stuff was messing up my shape. All right, now this cool trick that I learned for almond, this is pretty neat. Take your curved clippers, and what you want to do is let them do the work for you. Same as with the stiletto. So wherever you're gonna, let's do it from square again, it just makes things easier. Nah, see, I should have used square tips, but. So you want to take your curved clippers, and like I said, find that center again, and let them do the work for you. Take off the corner. I saw this on Instagram and I was like, oh, why have I not? And because they're curved, they give you most of the shape that you're looking for. And then you just take your file and clean it up. And if it's too pointed, you know, obviously just go file that point off. And then you get like a perfect almond shape. Crazy, right? Looks a lot like my stiletto, but whatever. We're not perfect. File off that underneath. And it gives you a nice, clean, crisp almond. I had a lot of trouble with almond. Like, it either always looked stiletto or it was too round and looked kind of squoval, you know? And because we've not overfiled, same thing. We have room to adjust it if we need to. But the clippers do a ton of the work. Yeah, it's kind of cool, right? All right, now we are going to do the square on the pinky. Since that's closer, it's a little more. Square is so much harder than it should be, you know? Gotta make sure you're cutting it straight across. And then it's gonna be a lot easier to find your shape if you even the bottom of the tip out with the cuticle first. And you just wanna line it up so that they come out even. Not this part, the bottom. You want to make sure that it's straight across. Also, going back and forth this way is not going to give you a super crisp line. You want to go this way, and that'll make your edge nice and perfectly straight if you go up and down like this, because then you don't get those pressure marks. You know what I mean? Okay, now see how my tip is kind of slanted? Because I'm doing it this way to line it up with here, I can adjust this way, and I'm not too far over on one side. So this one, you want to line it up with that nail bed and just go straight up and down. And you want to keep that file nice and straight. Now see over here, my tip was too far this way. So same thing, keep it nice and straight and keep moving in until you get it right where you want it. And you're using this as your guide because this is lined up with this. Now, another good way to do square, you can do it this way on the sides of the tip. Just to make sure you have that, it does the same thing it did here. It balances your file perfectly for you, right? All right. Now we have our nice square shape. All right, so I'm gonna lay a little bit of acrylic real quick. Actually, I am going to blend these really quick. And then we are going to lay acrylic. And I'm probably gonna blow through this real quick because you guys don't need to see this. Blend, 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 blend. You want to make sure when you're blending, you're taking off any part right here where the tip meets the sidewall, where it can get kind of bulky if their nails go over the edge of their free edge. Also, after you blend, you'll see anything else that's left over here. It's a lot easier to see after you're done blending. And I can see where I had a little overhang on my almond shape, which I'm gonna clean up right now. And like I said, this is just what works for me. There will be some more experienced people in there that are going to be helping everybody out, which I really appreciate. I know Kia Carter was was gonna come help, like, and they'll be popping in and out to answer your guys' questions if you have any, or just, you know, giving advice, whatever they have, you know, which I think was very nice and very generous. Now, see, my stiletto is a little fatter than most people's because I do it a little wider up here, but like I said, if you want it thinner, just file here to take down that, some of that width. There we go. And we have our tapered square up here, which could be a little more tapered if I'm being honest. But you can also use your scissors to take some of those edges off on the sides if it's not coming out the way you want. Use, you know, little manicure scissors. But there we go. All right, I'm gonna lay a little bit of acrylic so you guys can see how it came out. Let me dust that off. And then we are gonna go get this group chat started. Now, the way I'm going to do this, I'm gonna leave you guys a link to my Instagram with, you know, in the description box. You guys are gonna click on the link. There will be my last post on Instagram. If you wanna join the group chat, go to that post and comment, and I will invite you into the group chat. And it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be today. If you wanna join on Wednesday, whatever, that's fine. Just go up there and comment, and as people comment, I will add them, okay? I think this is gonna be a lot of fun, guys. And I'm sorry I'm posting so late today. Got, you know, a little busy. We're trying to get the outdoor part of our house ready for summer. And I got really busy and kind of sleepy all weekend, not gonna lie. Now, as you're laying your acrylic, I know we all wanna do the sides to make them nice and straight, but something that I do that helps, if I like to take my brush and run it up the sides like this, and that makes sure I don't have any overhang, and it pushes all of that acrylic back onto the tip, and it helps clean those sides up. Same thing at the bottom. This is fun. I haven't practiced just shaping in a while. There we go. See how, like, so I have a pretty good base before I even start filing the acrylic because I've done a lot of my work already, which is, that's what you want. You want to cut down that time that you have to go at it and file by hand after you've laid the acrylic, because that's just going to take you forever. So you want to try to make it as minimal as possible, and that's what's going to give you a super clean shape, is not having to try to hand file that acrylic off of the sides. Because then, if you don't have to sit and hand file those sides forever to get them crisp, you just run your barrel over the top and boom, you're done. And everything's nice and sharp. Which, I mean, hell, I'm not even there yet, but that's the goal. Stiletto's a little harder because of the end, because you want to taper it down, which is kind of hit or miss for me. So yeah, see, I've already got a pretty nice base going. So I'm not going to have to do a ton of filing, and it's already pretty sharp. The almond, oof, buddy. Oh. Now, it's never too late to go back and fix something. Like I see here, I got more overhang than I thought. Never too late. It's never too late. And I'm not going to do the square one just because you guys already know. We've already been over that. All right, we got to do that Nail Supply Glamour tomorrow. We are going to be doing the ombre. By the way, the next couple of practice sets are going to be like ombre, smile lines, simple design things like that. So I'll be doing the tutorials leading up to that just for a little extra info, you know? All right, so now remember, in the description box, there will be a link to my Instagram. You're gonna go on my last post, the most recent post, and comment, and I will add you to the group chat. See, not bad, right? All right, guys, I will see you in the group chat. And as always, thanks for watching.